We are still in a season of properties of numbers. Before we start today's episode, let's listen to this scenario. Imagine you are at a market buying fruit. You want 3 baskets of oranges and 3 baskets of mangoes, each costing 10 Ghana cedis. Now my question is, do you calculate the total by adding first or multiplying first? Guess what? Your answer depends on today's episode, which is called Distributive Property. A very powerful mouse tool that makes calculation very easier and faster. Welcome back to Find XYZ, where maths meets real life. Let's break it down. One may ask, what is distributive property? Well, what I can tell you is it connects multiplication to addition or subtraction. Why is this useful? Now imagine you have 2 numbers. Let's say I have 6 and 9. Now if I decide to multiply 6 and 9, it will be difficult for somebody to directly manipulate this in his or her head. So I can decide to break this number down into a sum of 2 numbers. So what 2 numbers can we add to get 9? So we can write this as 6 multiplying 3 plus 6, right? 3 plus 6 will give us 9. It's the same thing as 9. Then I will distribute this to these 2 numbers. So 6 times 3 will give us 18, plus 6 times 6 will give us 36. 18 plus 36 will give us 54. Or using the same 2 numbers, 6 times 9, 6 and 9. Another person would want to write 9 as the difference of 2 numbers. I would decide to pick 6 multiplying 10 minus 1, which is the same as 9. Then I will distribute the multiplication over the subtraction. So 6 times 10 minus 6 times 1. Now what is 6 times 10? 60. And what is 6 times 1, which is 6? Now I have 60 minus 6, which is 54, which is the same as doing 6 times 9, which is the same as expressing it as 6 plus 3, which is the same as 9. This will give us 36 plus 18, which will give us 54. With the help of this property, we can connect multiplication to either addition or subtraction. No matter how you represent it, you are still going to arrive at the same answer. You see how powerful this property is? Yes, that is distributive property. Looking at this example, we have 3 numbers. 2 is being distributed over addition, so 2 is multiplying 3 plus 4. If we decide to do whatever is in the bracket first, which is 3 plus 4, we are going to get 7. Multiplying 2, we are going to get 14. But if the number is large, we can distribute. So 2 times 3 is what we have here, and 2 times 4 is what we have in the second bracket. So 2 times 3 will give us 6, plus 2 times 4 will give us 8. 6 plus 8 is still 14. This is what we call distributive property. This is for multiplication being distributed over what? Addition. That is what you have. Multiplication over addition. Let's look at the other case. It also works the same way with subtraction. So let's look at multiplication over subtraction. So given 3 numbers, 5 multiplying 10 minus 2, you can distribute 5 and 10 and 5 to the 2. 5 and 10 give us 50, and then 5 times 2 will give us 10. The difference between these 2 numbers will give us 40. Or we can do whatever is in the bracket first. 10 minus 2 will give us 8. 5 times 8 is still 40. So the left hand side is equal to the right hand side. So we have 40. That is distributive property. Now let's look at some of the errors students might make. You need to be very careful when using any property or any rule. You should know when it works and when it doesn't work. So when will it not work? It will not work for addition over multiplication. That is reversing the process. Let's look at this. So given a plus b is then multiplying c, it is not the same as having a plus b and c. So let's use numbers to explain this. So let's use three numbers. Let's say I have 2, 3, and 5. So 2 plus 3 times 5 is not equal to 2 plus 3 times 5. Now let's see. What is 2 plus 3 on this side? This will give us 5 times 5, which is 5 times 5 will give us 25. Then 3 times 5 will give us 15. 15 plus 2 will give us 17. So 25 is definitely not equal to 17. So please, the opposite of this property does not hold. It is multiplication over addition or subtraction, not addition over multiplication. So be very careful. Be very, very, very careful. How do I apply this in math? Let's look at the first example. So we have 3 multiplying x plus 4. We can distribute it 3 times x, that will give us 3x, and then 3 times 4, that will give us 12. Or when you have 2 numbers multiplying and one of the numbers is very large, so looking at this, 27 is large, we can write 27 as a sum of 2 numbers, which is 20 plus 7, which is doing 6 times 20 is easier than just multiplying 6 times 27. Then when you are done, you do 6 times 7, which will give us 42, and the total will give us 162. So anytime you are multiplying 2 numbers and one of the numbers is large, you can break the number down into sum of 2 numbers or difference of 2 numbers, and then apply the distributive property. Is that okay? This trick makes big numbers easier to handle, so make use of it. The distributive property is a shortcut for breaking down complex multiplication into simple steps. Whether you are solving algebra or calculating a price at the market, this property will save you a lot of time and an effort. But remember, A multiplying B plus C is the same as A times B plus A times C. If you enjoy this, hit like, subscribe, and share with all your friends. And always remember, think, find, and shine. See you in the next video. Bye.